You think this isn't focused enough? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a review on the entire collection, Too Faced Peaches and Cream collection, which is exclusive to Sephora. I was sent this ginormous package. Who am I to be getting this? I'm so excited. I tweeted asking you guys if you wanted to see a review, kind of a hits and misses within the collection from me. You guys said yes, so here we are. I've tried them for a couple days now, about a week, and I have my opinions, and I will keep this completely 100% honest. Never thought I would get the entire collection, so thank you so much, Too Faced, and thanks to you guys that voted and kind of asked me to review this for you guys. Too Faced in particular is one of my favorite brands. I think it's because their packaging is so fun, but their products are also really amazing. So if you want to know my thoughts, my personal opinions, please keep watching. This video is not sponsored. I am not being paid. I was just sent some free makeup to play with in the hopes that maybe I would sit down and film it, and you guys wanted to see it, so here we are. Alright, so they did send me this cute little pamphlet that kind of cites all the information for each product, so I will kind of be taking a peek in here to kind of give you some information that Too Faced themselves claims with each of these products, but I will, of course, be letting you know what I personally thought from each and every individual product. I thought it would make sense to start with a primer. This is their Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. Every product in this line is infused with peach and the sweet fig cream. It smells like peachiness, but it smells very fresh and natural. It doesn't smell fake or too sweet. It lingers on your skin for a couple of seconds as you're working it in, but I don't really feel that the scent stays forever. So if you are sensitive to scents or you're not a fan of scents, I don't think it will really bother you because it does go away. This is such a comfortable primer. It feels like the Benefit Professional in the sense that it's kind of creamy when it first pumps out, which, by the way, I love the fact that it actually has a pump. I love pump products. It's so sanitary, so easy to use. That's definitely a plus in my book. But this product feels very creamy when it first pumps out, and then it kind of dissolves into a powdered texture. Makes your skin feel flawless. It's a 16+ hour long wear, 12-hour plus shine control. It's a mattifying, soft, focused finish. It has this really nice cooling sensation that's infused within the product. So as you're working it onto your skin is feeling really soft, but it's feeling very cooled down, which I love. I think this will be a perfect primer in the summer months because that's when I tend to get a little bit more oily, and also I'm kind of hot because it's hot out, and I feel like that cooling sensation will really help. If you do have a more combo to oily skin type, I would recommend you checking this out. Maybe try a sample if you can. I think that this primer would work well if you go to the gym or you tend to work out and you don't want to wear makeup, but you want your skin to look kind of airbrushed. Just wear a primer. Just wear a primer and put a little bit of bronzer on, and I'm telling you, that's all you need. Maybe some chapstick or gloss, and you'll feel prettier, you'll feel more confident, and that's what I like to do when I'm just kind of running errands and I don't want to look dead to the world. I just want something that's going to make me feel a little bit better and just a little bit more confident. I love it. I think this is a winner in my book. So the next product is their Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. They did send me a few of their shades, and I figured out that these two I think are the ones best for me. So I have light beige and I have natural beige. Light beige is, I think, my year-round shade, and then when I'm a little bit more tan, I like this one in natural beige. The difference is that light beige is just a tiny bit, I would say, more yellow and more neutral, whereas a natural beige has just a little bit more of a kind of golden olive but yet neutral undertone. And I'm actually wearing both of them today. What I decided to do is to take natural beige around the outer corners of the temples of my forehead, this outer corner of my face, and then along the sides of my nose to kind of contour. And then I use a lighter, more brightening shade in light beige everywhere else, and I felt like it gave a little bit more dimension. This foundation, I feel like it gives me a nice amount of coverage. It claims to be oil-free, 14-hour wear. It's also oil controlling, and it is photo friendly. I'd say the last 4 times that I put on makeup, I was wearing this foundation. I wore one day, wore one the other day, and then I recently decided to kind of mix them together, and I like that the best. And what I have noticed is that it does wear long. Usually, because my skin can get a little bit more oily around my nose, foundations, especially BB creams, will break around my nose and kind of just start to disappear. I wore this foundation, I think 2 days ago, for about 10 hours, and it looked just as pretty as when I first applied it. Didn't see it breaking up. I felt it looked very natural, which is another thing I like about this foundation. So I would say this foundation is a winner for me as well. So the next product or products that I wanted to mention are their melting powder products. They came out with 3 melting powders. They have a blush, a highlight, and a bronzer. These are basically creamy products that melt down and set as a powder. Now, I liked one of them and I didn't like the other 2, and I'm going to let you guys know why. So The blush, for one, is way too pigmented and bright for me. I don't like Pepto-Bismol-y bright hot pink blushes. I like something that's more of a mellow wine or a soft blushing nude or even a corally pink. Something more mauve-y or kind of mocha, but it's very, very dull on the skin. I feel like you don't see it. You would have to dip your brush in here 50 times to get any product onto your skin. I'm gonna be passing this along because I just didn't like it. Fortunately though, they do have other shades, so maybe if I tried a different one, I would like it better. This is the shade that they sent me in So Peachy, just too bright for me, so not really a fan. Then the next product that I didn't like is their, unfortunately, is their Peach Frost highlighter in the shade Happy Face, and it looks like a really, really pretty highlighter, and it really is. It's a gorgeous, very soft, focused champagne shade, like a light gold, but it didn't show up on my skin. It barely showed up when I swatched it, and I put my finger in here 5 times, and as you'll see in the insert, you can't even see it. So I'm not impressed with this. Unless you want to play with this as a cream highlight and then just kind of pile on powder highlight to intensify it, then maybe you would like this. And then the last melting powder product is their bronzer. Now this one I like. It really showed up on the skin. I used a densely packed paddle brush. This one is from Morphe, the G3. With cream products it works really well, so I love to contour with this. I set it with a Too Faced pressed powder bronzer and it just worked really well with that. So I highly recommend Bronzed Peach Melting Powder Bronzer. I'd pass on the other stuff in that collection, but the bronzer was pretty wicked. And then the powder that I set that cream to powder bronzer product with is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. This is popular, you guys have heard of it, I know you have. I love the milk chocolate versus the regular chocolate because that one's a little too dark for me. It looks great in the summer when I'm more tan, but in the fair wintry months I like to reach for milk chocolate, and it does pack a punch. You'd think it wouldn't. In the pan it doesn't look like much, but on the skin it really does build and create a nice contour. So I set with this guy. And then for blush, because I didn't like that cream blush, I used the Too Faced Papa Don't Peach, which has a lot of shimmer and glimmer to it. It's a really, really pretty kind of light golden reflect peachy blush. It smells fantastic. And that is my blush for today. Another product that wasn't included in the box, so I had to use it for my own stash, is the Too Faced Chocolate Brownie Cocoa Powder Brow Pencil to fill in my brows and shape them, and this is in the shade Soft Brown. And of course, I am wearing the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, which is amazing.
Yeah, I kind of forgot. I also put on the Too Faced Love Light Prismatic Powder Highlight in the shade You Light Up My Life. Okay, let's keep going.
Alright, moving on to another product I love, the Sweetie Pie Radiant Matte Bronzer. This is a really cool, innovative product. It's a lace throughout product that has some kind of gold shimmer highlight to it, has a little bit of a pinky blush to it, and then of course it has 2 shades of bronzing powders as well. I like to basically just swirl a big kind of brush like this guy. This is the MAC 187. It's a huge face stipple brush. Just kind of swirl it all in there and then just swirl it onto my face, and it just created a nice flawless radiant glow on top of my contour. Almost worked as a blush as well. Just made you look really glowy but natural at the same time. I will definitely pick up another one of these when I hit pan because I'm blown away. I think this is one of my favorite products in the entire Peaches and Cream collection. Another product that I kind of like, I feel like it just made my skin feel really good and it fused all the powders together on my face, is the Too Faced Peach Mist Mattifying Setting Spray. Again, everything infused with peach and sweet fig cream. It does have a little sticker that says shake, shake, shake me up baby, because apparently there's some kind of product in here that needs to be shaken up, otherwise it's going to create little flecks on the skin. But it felt really, really good on my skin when I sprayed it on. I just really like the scent, and again, it only lingers the second that you spray it on. Once it dries, it's gone, but it fused all the powders on my face really well and very, very nicely, so it gave me that flawless finish and soft focus finish that I was looking for. So moving on to another product that I didn't like, and it's not because it was a terrible product, it's more so because I feel like I didn't see it do anything. And I don't think it's worth it to spend your money on a product that isn't doing anything for you or you don't see it doing much. And that is the Peach Blur, which is a translucent smoothing finishing powder. And my issue with this is, although the packaging is beyond adorable and I want to keep it just because of that, but I won't. I will give it away. I'll pass it along. But the powder just was very strange. First of all, it has a pinky peachy iridescence once I put it onto my skin, which for a translucent powder, that doesn't make any sense. So I didn't like that. I'm worried that it's gonna give photo flashback, and I didn't really notice my pores diminishing or my skin looking velvety soft. If anything, I felt like my skin looked cakier. So I don't like this. I like the Too Faced Primed and Poreless powder. It's a translucent setting powder. That's amazing. I feel like this is kind of a gimmick. Apart from the cute packaging, I don't think the product is that amazing. If you want to stick to drugstore, then I would recommend this. Also does kind of the same thing. The Milani Prep Set and Glow. It's an illuminating transparent powder, and it's in pan form, and it does a great job. It doesn't give any color on the skin, and just kind of does what it says, whereas I don't feel like this really blurred or did anything. So this was another miss for me. I really didn't have that many misses though, apart from those 2 cream products and that translucent peachy setting powder. I liked everything else. So moving on, which actually I should mention this. Pass on this if you're looking for a powder and pick up the Peach Perfect mattifying loose setting powder. I think this is much better. This is pretty comparable to the Laura Mercier one, and it has a stopper, which is awesome because you won't get powder flying everywhere. This mattified my foundation. It set everything into place, did a great job setting the concealer, everything. I really, really like this, and considering how content I am with this, I don't feel like I needed that peach blur powder. I feel like that could have been nixed from the entire collection. And then I think we just have 2 more products. So the next favorite is the Just Peachy Mattes palette. You guys probably knew that I was gonna love this because I love eyeshadow palettes, love matte shadows, and I love even more warm shadows like this. These shades are phenomenal. But one of the funny things about this that I wanted to mention to you guys in case you're in the store and you're swatching is notice that every single one of these powders was dry to the touch, which scared me at first when I just first put my finger into them. But when I pulled my finger away and looked at the swatches, I was impressed with how pigmented they were. And that's odd to me because usually powders that are dry mean that there is no pigmentation. They're not going to blend, they're not going to show up. So don't be scared if you touch this and you feel that dry sensation. I don't know if it's just my palette, this is supposedly brand new, but it felt very dry. Like I said, the pigmentation was there. I'm wearing this palette, so many of these shades on my eyes today, blended like a dream. And kind of like the Anastasia Subculture palette, you barely need to dip your brush into it to get the pigmentation you need. And I'm just impressed with just the color payoff, the way that they blended and just worked together. Everything was fusing nicely. So I do love this palette. I think the packaging is adorable. Really, really, really blew me away. And then the last product would be their lip product. They recently released these creamy matte long wearing lipsticks. They sent me 3 of them, but I don't know what got in my head. I started playing with this early on. I swatched them and I ended up giving the other 2 shades away to my friend. I don't know why I didn't think to swatch them, but if you Google the shade names, which I'm going to mention in a second, you can see other people lip swatching. The reason I gave the other 2 away is because they were unbearably drying, and the shades were the lightest shade I believe in the collection called Doll Face, which was very chalky and patchy. It looked terrible on my skin tone, so that's why I gave it away. My friend is super fair, so it actually looked pretty on her, and even though it was super drying, she didn't care. She's like, it's Too Faced, she'd take it. And then the other shade was the darker of the 3. It was called Drunk Dial, but it was a very cool tone, kind of berry purple, and I feel like I have that color 10 times over from the drugstore. I didn't need another one, but I kept this guy, not only for the review, but also because I fell in love with it. It's called Sunday Funday, and it's a pretty mid-tone, kind of soft, creamy nude. It's what I'm wearing right now. I feel like this is an everyday go-to nude for me when I don't want to think about my lipstick. It's an easy nude to wear and apply, and the weird thing is that this one is very creamy and comfortable on the lips, whereas the other ones felt very drying and tugging and pulling. And of course, before I gave it to my friend, I did sanitize them. I recommend this one. Now, if I were to go out and purchase another one, I think I would like to pick up the shade next to this one, like the next one over. I believe it's called Sex on the Peach. Their names are ridiculous, but it's a really pretty spicy nude. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit warmer than this one, and I feel like that would be my go-to fall nude because it would complement my kind of olive-based, kind of neutral undertone to my skin tone, whereas this is just an easy everyday kind of nude. I wore it today. I think it looks pretty, but I think I would want to jump up to that next shade and maybe purchase that in the future, or you know, maybe Too Faced will send it to me? I doubt it. I doubt they're even watching this video, but thank you Too Faced for everything. I really, really loved all of the products. I think they're amazing. This is one of my favorite collections so far, apart from their Sweet Peach palette. That is hands down one of my top 5 palettes. So that pretty much rounded up everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thanks to those of you who requested it. Don't forget to subscribe. Request anything you want to see, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye guys.